there, lovely stitchers. It's Rachel here from Moonlight Stitches, and it's a very, very warm, muggy morning this morning, and I thought I'd come out to the thread shed, even though it's boiling hot out here, and have a little bit of a tidy around. But this week's Stitching Through the Garden Gate is one of my favourites so far, and it is our little veg patch. How cute is that? Look at that cute little pumpkin. I'll show you how to do this, all of this, really easily in the video coming up. So enjoy and happy stitching. So finding inspiration for things that I want to stitch isn't always as straightforward as it seems at first. You know, we do get stitcher's block, shall we say. Creativity seems to have done a wonder, but for me it is being immersed in nature if you're doing something like that, and generally it is for me that I don't stray far from a nature theme really, or a natural theme, you know, with my animals and various different things. Anyway, I'm digressing. Well, I'm not really, I'm just sort of giving you a little bit of background. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to do this garden layout type thing, and it is going to be really basic. I'm probably not going to put all the tools in and stuff and see where I can get up to. But for, you know, I kind of I jump from something like I'll be drawing pots and making little diagrams of pots to that kind of thing in my what am I going to make, or what am I going to stitch this week. But I've got my usual sources of inspiration, or you know what, it are books or magazines. I very rarely use Pinterest, because if it's on Pinterest it's been done to death. But you know, this one, In and Out the Garden, Sarah Midder, I love this book. I use it a lot. I love how she's used words to, you know, give the impression that it's a flower or a plant growing. So she's got mustard means indifference. These are all, she's kind of gone what the flower meanings are, or what the meanings are: pineapple, perfection; chamomile, initiative, ingenuity, energy, and beneficity. Beneficious. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So she's used that, and in my little book here, my sketches here, I've sort of done the same kind of thing. So, you know, there's one kind of big source of inspiration are books. I might use a book, this kind of book. This is one of my favourite books. The new illustrated gardening encyclopedia, Richard Suddle. It's an old book. It's black and white, but it's got things such as how he's shaded in his little drawings. I've kind of gone and pinched that idea here in my potatoes. So, you know, and this lends itself really well to stitch. Again, he's done this, you know, little dots, lines and dots, always good for stitch. I love his little diagrams. They're very simple. Now he's got a little Wendy house in this even. I think there's another one here where he's literally gone words and lines, nothing complex. And these things really lend themselves well to stitching. I've marked this one because it says cuckoo spit. Cuckoo spit insect or frog hopper. and it explains what it is. I just love that. But can you see it's sort of gone lines again for the soil or the earth? Very, very simple kind of pictures, how he's done them. And I use this kind of thing for inspiration. The older kind of books are usually my better inspiration because they are usually simplified, black and white. They're not photographs, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's get on. Oops, I'm trashing the place. So we're on the last page, and I think I'm going to kind of do, I might not do this part, but I'm going to kind of do this this layout. Sorry, can you see? This kind of layout. So what I did was I found some fabrics. Let's get a bit. I'm not going to do too much applique. I just want to do the sky up here, and then maybe I've got this silk noil. I might do some beds out of this, and then do some stitching with different kinds of thread. Again, I'm using the stuff that I've thrifted or that I've found knocking about. Nothing new. And I always say, just try and find what you've got hanging around. I probably use some of my sheep ears for this pumpkin up here because it does beautiful bullion knots, and that's what I'm going to do it with. So, you know, that's so I'm going to draw in the let's get rid of some stuff out of the way. Again, I've got 0 space on here. I'll just leave that to one side. I've got an aqua trick marker, but I'm going to do this bit of sky up here. I'm going to put it along. Ooh, it's another hot day today. Oh, look at that. I like that. Here, really not comfortable. Just give it a bit of, see how. I'm just going to cut straight across. I might use it later. Where are we going with that? To the edge, to there. Do with a bit of a press, but I'm not getting that iron out and doing that. That'll do. That'll do. So I'll stitch that down. But I will pin first. Let's pin everything down and then we'll stitch. And like I say, it's been up in the early 30s. That's Celsius, not centigrade. Here in the UK. I don't think I like that. I think it's a bit. Maybe I'll use it down there. Don't know. Even though I like this fringing, maybe I don't want it that big. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do these bits first. Down here. 1, 2. Oh, make sure I'm in a big shot. Just going to trim those off. Use them later for something else. Oh, wrong one. maybe this wants to flick up, but I probably will have to press that down. Oh, how am I going? Let me just move that out of the way a little bit. So, but you're getting the idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to create the beds, but I'm not going to do them all as beds. I'm just going to do that one up there with fabric. I'm going to do some with stitch. This is tea dyed silk noil. I think I might have used it already in something else. I feel like that's too big. For what I want. There, that's better. Yeah. Ooh. I did have the fan on, but it's blowing everything everywhere. So I'm going to put a couple of beds in here, look. Another one here, sorry. And that's going to be the potatoes, or spuds as we call them. And I will draw in the mounded earth. Okay, and we'll just put the potato plants in on that angle. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'll just put some fancy stitches in when. Fancy stitches, that's what Catherine calls them, isn't it? From K3M. And the potatoes. There we go. So put some little beds in here. I might take this off and make them smaller. See what is what. Move them down a bit. We'll see. Because I need my longer bed in there again. They're quite big, aren't they, those? Let's just move them a moment. But I'll just do some little circular bits. Because what I'm doing is you're just giving a suggestion of the plant rather than the what it actually might be. Don't overthink it. Let's cut that off. Let's just straighten that up a bit. Dude, do you ever get like a song in your head, what do they call it, an earworm, and you just can't get rid of it? Right, that's better, isn't it? So I'm going to do some stitching. I'll stitch these down. Like I say, I have got, take that off because, oh my gosh, it's that hot. You cannot, everything's sticking to me. Right, let's move that out of the way and we'll get on with the stitching. Yeah, you know, my rings are, my fingers are swollen. So this is just some variegated thread. It's a, I don't know quite what it is. It's some kind of, I don't know. It's a cotton pearl of sorts. No idea. Oh, you don't want to. There we are. So, okie dokie. So I'm going to stitch these down first, and I'm just going to use the tiniest running stitch. Along on this one. Get rid of that. Because this is where I'm going to put my running beans, my runner beans, my climbing beans in here. My climbing beans don't seem to be liking this dry weather. Usually by now they're almost to the top of the canes. They're barely halfway up. And my tomatoes. Oh, I think I was having a conversation with somebody in the Facebook group. I can't remember where it was, or maybe on Instagram. Jill. We're having a discussion about tomatoes. It's a lot of effort for not a lot of reward. I'm staggering my stitches, by the way. Yeah, don't seem to be very great, my tomatoes, again this year, the last 2 or 3 years. Although I've not had a greenhouse until later on in the season. That's maybe a reason, I don't know. But last year they were rubbish as well. My brother in France, they had a terrible tomato season as well. So yeah, not sure whether I shall keep bothering. I just keep on. Cucumbers, they're good out there. Peppers are doing really well. But no, not tomatoes. And update on the planting of the moon garden. The flowers are all the foliage is up. No flowers as properly yet. Well, again, it's been very dry, so it's probably not liking. I've had to put the sprinkler on, which I don't like doing, but and I'm just going to stagger this stitch. So I'm going to stitch these on, but instead of going across, I thought I'd go to diagonal kind of way, just to give it a bit of different texture. If you are new to stitching, the ways to make texture is always varying your directions of your stitch. Always easy. That's the first sort of port of call, if you like, to rather than doing different stitches, even though your stitches might all be the same stitch, i.e. as in this case all running stitch, having them going in a different direction would add a different texture straight away. Also, swapping your thread for a different thread, or if you're using 6-stranded cotton, using varying different thread strands, you know, you could go from sort of 1 up to 6 different strands, especially if you're doing things like French knots. So I'll stitch those and I'll do the same here. So on the sky one, I thought I'd do some up and down waves type thing, just to, again, give it a different format, a different texture. And I'm not making my stitches very big. They're probably about a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch, so about 3 millimeters. But I will follow along this first row I'm doing. I'll follow it along. Keep clunking my ring on the desk. The view. I went on a 9.5 mile walk all around Matlock, High Tor, Giddy Edge, if anybody knows that area, on Friday. It was hot and probably too hot in places. A lot of it was in shade. But oh my gosh, was I aching Saturday and Sunday, and still a little bit today. I'm just going to come in. I'll do that first. Again, I'm going to try and stagger my stitch, but I don't think I can on this bit. But yeah, gosh, I was aching. Going lots up, lots of hills and steps cut into the sides of the hill. Oh dear. My friend is a seasoned walker, and she lived in Matlock as a child. And Matlock, Townsley, Lumsdale, that area. I don't know whether you can see this, but I'm going to come up. I'm just going to go, sorry, I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. Come through the backs of these stitches, so just so I don't have to cut my thread. And I'm going to come up here. So yeah, she lived as a child. It was like her playground, really. And we kind of just walked around where she grew up. So she knew it back to front. Anyway, she's a very seasoned walker, and it was like a little walk in the park to her. Oh my gosh. It was not. Anyway, I really thoroughly enjoyed myself. I really did. But can you see I'm kind of just following my stitches along, and when I come to the end of here, oh, got a bit of a knot going on. So I'm just going to go back down and come back along and follow this, and I'm going to fill this gap in first and then do the same here. I won't make you sit and watch me. That's just boring, and also it takes up way too much time on the video. I really don't know whether videos should be long, short, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 hours. Gosh, I do not know. I know a lot of you just sit and have me on in the background. One lady put a picture of her stitching with me playing on the, what's happened here? Playing in the background, which was nice to see. And I'm sorry I can't remember your name. Oh, must start writing these things down. Anyway, I'm going to get stitching and I'll be back. I'll stitch all this and then I'll come back. So I've finished that, and I don't know whether I showed you the two that I did sideways on. So I'm going to do some outlines on each one. I'm going to outline the borders, and I'm going to, let's find a thread that I want to use. Try not to clunk about too much. I don't like black, so we'll go with a very dark brown. Very rarely use black in my work if I can help it. So I will go with 2 strands, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to border this one, that one, and that one. Not that one. I'll do something different with that. Yeah, so let's go 2 strands of this strand of cotton. 1, 2. Ooh. Sometimes when you get some of these vintage, thrifted threads, they are a little bit stiff, but persevere, because when you start working with them, they do loosen up. Just that they've been sat for a long time. No, I don't want the thread. Come on. Go, we're through. So what I'm going to do is I'll border these 3 as if they are like, got some wooden border around them, but I'm going to do a stem stitch to make it look a bit like ropey type thing. Oh, in shot, yes. Ow. So next week I am off to France to see my brother. I'm going with my sister and my dad, and the son and heir is going in his camper. He's going via the Eurotunnel, and taking Reggie. Reggie's got his little pet passport. Well, he will have when we go and pick it up in a couple of days' time. come back up that one. So yeah, we're all going. I'm looking forward to it. I will be on the hunt for some linens. Right, I've not made that very tight, that thread. What happened there? Bit loopy. Right, okay. Yeah, so I'll be on the hunt for some linen sheets to bring back. So if you see me at the shows and what have you, you'll know that that's come from this trip and the one that I'm going on in September. I do have this linen, the linens in my shop as well, the online shop. Going around corners with the stem stitch, I always like to just do a little back stitch because if not, it does like a curvy thing and I don't like it. Anyway, so right, I'm going to carry on, do all that, and I'll be back in 2 shakes of a llama's tail. So I've completed that and I'm going to do the soil and the sky on this one because I'm kind of making it look as if it's like a flat lay type thing. Oh dear me, it's all right. I've been outside and it's so hot, it's like takes your breath away. Us Brits aren't used to this. Absolutely not used to it at all. I'm going to start up here and I am just going to do running stitch along the edges and try and miss I'm going to miss where I'm going to put the leaves just in case. And I am going to go straight along the top and then come back in the opposite direction. I'm going to have to take that ring off because I keep clunking, don't I? There. It's too hot for little Reggie, that's for sure. He's keeps going and hiding in the shade or upstairs, out of the way. Gertrude's not so bad, she quite likes the heat. She'll sunbathe on the window ledge. I'm going back along. Just to make it look like the sky. Oh, Reg. Shh. So when I do these little bits again, I'm doing exactly the same Just going to come up and fill this area in, then go and fill that area in. Oops. Okay. So I'll go across there and fill that area in. Then I'm going to do the soil, the earth with this brown thread again, and I'll do the same in here and in here. I won't do that on camera. As I say, we'll be here all day, but I'll come back and I'll put all the little veggies in. So I've done all my little stitches, and now I'm going to add some veggies. I'm going to do the leaves on these potatoes and the potatoes first. Just looking what colour we can use. I feel like that's a good colour. Bit of green. Oh, I've been sitting outside and it is far and moaning about the heat. I shouldn't be. It's far too hot. So I've just come in the house and it's delicious. Deliciously cool. Okay, so I'm just going to do some little back stitches. There. And then just fill the leaves in. With a bit of a satin stitch or whatever stitch you want. You could do a lazy daisy, I suppose. I'm not really doing like a proper satin stitch. I'm just doing those together stitches. Just to give a suggestion of leaves. Move those out of the way. Oof. I bought some couple of little fans for Harvey's van because obviously he's got no, well not obviously, he doesn't have an aircon in this van. So I bought a humidifier with a fan and that seems really good. It was quite reasonable. And then a little overhead fan, all charged by USB points. So that's good. So they came over the weekend. So I'll be able to have those on while he's travelling around. I think it's something like a 20-hour journey from point to point of travelling time. He's, like I say, he's going on the tunnel, Channel Tunnel. So try and make it as comfortable as possible for him and Reggie. Oh. So I'm just going to finish these little leaves off. Like I say, I'm just doing up and down stitches, not really doing a satin stitch. It's, can you see? I'm just kind of splaying out and coming in from the bottom. That kind of stitch. Coming up the centre. And then just doing a couple of stitches either side just to give it a bit of shape. Oh, Right, so let's find a colour for these potatoes. And then we'll do potatoes and I'll go away and do the rest of this. Scissors. Oh, what colour? I feel like there should be a bit of a palish. It's not quite right. I thought I picked up a... Just bear with me a minute. I'll go and find a thread. Okay, so we've got like a pale beige colour. I'm going to use all 6 strands in. I think we've got 6 on here. Oh no, I haven't. I've got 4. 4 will do. I'm just going to come up and do a little potato shape. In. I think I'll just do one more stitch there. One. And I'll do my stitches that way on this one, just so it looks like it's lying a different way. Oops. Then again, that one, different way. Gosh, just stuck myself with a... That hurt. And then just a little tiny potato here. Naughty that is. Stitch in. There we go. Lovely. Can you see my little potatoes? I think if I get rid of the pen, you'll see it better. Let me just do this one, this side. Oh my goodness. There we go. They look adorable. So I'll carry on and do those. I'm just going to just finish that off, I think. Stitch that off. No, I'm not. I'm going to jump across, but I'm going to do it going through the backs of the stitches. Like that. And then come up over here. As long as you remember that you want to be going different ways with your potatoes, your little stitches, you'll be fine. So I'll do that, and I'll be back when I do the next bit. So I carried on and did all the potatoes, and I thought I'll just do the beetroot while I'm at it, and then oops, come back and show you what I'm doing. So all I am doing is a satin stitch. I've got, how many strands have I got on? I feel like I've got all 6. Yeah. All 6 on, and I just want to do a little, looks like a beetroot. So I'm not going right down, I'm going at one point and then coming back up gradually. There we go. And probably that side as well. Oof. There we go. And do one more. That's what I've had a bigger needle. Because it's popping as I go through, but hey ho. Mm. There we go. If you put more thread on your needle, a thicker thread on your needle, especially with the satin stitch, it bulks it out better. Obviously, my little veggies are not to scale. I did think about that when I was doing it. I thought, oh, yeah, it's just a little, it's just a veg patch. It's in stitch. It's not a photograph. Let's do some leaves on these. I have 2 strands. And I will just do some lazy daisies along the top of each one. A couple of lazy daisies on each one. 1 lazy daisy or detached chain, whichever you want to call it. 1 2 there we go. I'll just do along each one. I was going to watch Wimbledon while stitching this afternoon, but I haven't, so I'll probably watch it later on. If you're not familiar, Wimbledon's a tennis tournament. I can't imagine anybody not knowing what that is, but there are, you know, who knows. And I watched a bit of Glastonbury over the weekend, the Glastonbury Music Festival. Rod Stewart yesterday evening. It was very, very good. Although he had some guests of the guy, Mick Hucknall, the guy from Simply Red, he was excellent as well. Ronnie Wood on his guitar. And Lulu, who was strange, I have to say. I thought she was probably drunk. Oops, have I said that out loud? Don't know, she just seemed a little bit hyperactive. I don't know. Maybe that's just her. I don't know. But yes, he was very entertaining. Enjoyed that. So I'll carry on and do these, and I'll come back. I'm going to put some lettuces and carrots and beans in, but we'll do that together. Probably start some and then come back and show you each one. Okay. Okie doke. So I'm going to do some carrots down here, and I will do them as a bullion knot. So bullion knots, as always, milliner's or straw needle. And we're just wrapping. Oops, I might have done that a little bit longer. Not to worry. Put that through. So come up and back down and take a stitch back up next to the one you did, you came up at, came through first, and wrap your needle with enough wraps that match that stitch you've taken. 1, 2. I did a few too many on the first one. It doesn't matter. I've got wonky carrots. I've done too many on this one now. Then you just pull it through and back down. There. There we go. And they look like little caterpillars. So let's do it again. Up. Just come back down a bit because I'm not quite in line. It doesn't matter, but up take a stitch and come back up as close to where you came through the first time. Then wrap your thread. I'm using Maxi Sweet Treats, which is available in our shop, and the reason I love this is because it just sits so beautiful when you do a bullion knot. And I want to wrap, pushing down, and make sure that that is the same distance as that. So another 1, 2, go in, pull through, and just wiggle your needle. And if you're new here and you don't know about the straw needles or milliner's needles, the eye on a milliner's needle is the same width as the shaft of the needle. So it makes it easier to go through, pull through once you've wrapped everything. So I'll go ahead and I'll do all those and I'll be back. So I've done some of my little carrots. Let's just show you. And I thought I'd do, do a little frondy kind of stitch at the top. Frothy kind of thready stitch. So I'm going to come in this way because I want this end, or whichever end it is, on the outside there. Okay. I'm going to do a tiny little stitch at the top of my carrot and then come back. Ouch. I'm just going to see if I think I might need another bit on top of it. I actually think that's enough. There we go. So how am I doing this? I'm going to go up. It's a bit like turkey work I'm doing, but not quite. And then little tiny stitch and come back up. I'm just going to go under that one, just so it sits a bit flatter. And I'll just chop that off. That doesn't look so great. Let's pull it tighter. Buff it up a bit. There we go. Do another one. So what I'm doing is I'm coming up, doing a little stitch, leaving that, going over the tiniest stitch, just to sort of lock it in there. Pull it tight, and you can just splay out your then we'll come back up this one, do a little tiny stitch and come up. But I want to be underneath that knot, I think. Oh no, I want it to be the other. And then come back under the stitch. That's what I did, didn't I? Just to flatten it down. Give it a good tug. I don't know what's happening there. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm just going to come back under that. I've come under my running stitch. So snip that off, fluff it out a bit, and they're my carrots. I'm going to just carry on doing that, and I'll do that other bit. Then we'll come back and we'll put some lettuces in. Apologies, I forgot to hit record when I was doing this last bit. So I did some really loopy French knots. I did 3 grouped together. And then over here I just did a single French knot in a like a double row to make them look like smaller lettuces or cabbages or whatever. These look like cabbages. So apologies for that. So I'm going to do the climbing beans now. And I'm just going to draw in, let's get rid of that a moment. Just going to draw in the canes, because my beans are going to climb up a little row of canes. So we're going to go up into the sky bit, and I just want 3. 1, 2, 3. Some over at the top. They don't have to be perfect. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to find something to do them with, to stitch the canes with, and I don't want anything too. Oh, hope you can't hear the Wimbledon playing in the background. Just getting a bit of brown thread off here, and I'll do it with 1 strand. Gosh, it's just been watching the opening men's match, and that was 5 sets, but it looked like the reigning champion was going to go out at the first hurdle, but he didn't. He came back. So I'm literally just doing a little back stitch. Just check that I'm recording. I am. And I'm just going up the canes. Start. Now come down that one. Down the middle one. Like I say, I'm just doing back stitch. Nothing special. And they don't have to be perfect, because we're just going to cover them in. Well, not cover them, I'm going to twine some beans through them. I wish my garden actually looked like this, all nice and lush. It's looking a bit parched at the minute, that's for sure, even with the sprinklers going. If you can hear, Reggie is chasing a fly around. Don't know how I've got the energy, to be fair. So that's me done with my little teepee of canes. How do you grow your beans? I've actually got mine in 2 rows, but not like this. I've got them like pyramid and then a cane across the top at this year. And then I've got sweet peas the other side. Okay. Right, that's you. Let's find some. So now we want to twist our beans up. So I'm going to do one thread, one thread, one strand. Couldn't think what it was. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip these little canes through but not very tightly. Gosh, I've got a really long thread going on here. Lazy tailor thread, come on. So I'm just going to whip this through. I always use the back end of my needle. Don't pull it too tight. I'm not sure you'll be able to see what I'm doing. This might be the wrong colour. Let's change the colour because that's not very good. It doesn't show up. That isn't good. Let's do a lighter colour. Let's do shall we do a brighter green? Yes. Bit of artistic license and have a nice bright green leaf. Some of my beans have got red leaves. I'm not entirely sure what variety they are. They just came in a seed packet of mixed beans. But they do look pretty. So, right, let's start again. That's better. Going under that cane. Not pulling tight. Just so it looks like it's twisting around. There, last one. And then I'm going to do a bit of a stitch. And just make it look like it's growing over there. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? Looks quite cool. I'm going to have to finish off because I don't want to stretch my thread all the way to the back, all the way down there. Just try not to pull that too tight, make sure it's loose-ish. So I want it to look loopy at the top. I will do the others, but what I think I'll do is I'll put a little bit of red in for the flowers. My beans, little tiny dots of red. So 1, Again, just one strand of cotton thread. And I'll just put a little seed stitch in. So they just look like the flowers. Right? And that's what I'll do. And you see, quite sweet. I'll just add some more. I'll pop them round here as well because I'll be able to use my thread. So I'll go away and I will stitch my beans, then we'll come back and we'll do the little pumpkin. Okie doke. Okie doke, so we're back. I've finished my little beans, climbing beans. Super cute. And I'm going to put a pumpkin here. I know that really, well, pumpkins won't be ready until September, October time. But you know, as I always say, artistic license and all that. We want a pumpkin in our garden, don't we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a bullion knot down the middle. And again, I'm using Sheepy's Maxi Sweet Treats because it's the best for this bullion knots, in my opinion. Just take that one off. With it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another one right next to it. There. In a moment. Come down. Back up. Hold on. My son always calls pumpkins in the garden, obviously, bibbidi bobbidi boos. He's in his 30s, but because when they grow all over the garden, and they do grow all over, they just take over, and it just looks so fantastic. I'm making these slightly longer so they sort of curve round. Yeah, and obviously the song is from Cinderella. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. And that's what he calls them. Hold on. Am I going round it? You just have to give it a little wiggle. Oh, it's wanting to sit in the middle of that. No, it's not. Come on. Here we go. It's gone. Sometimes. So we're going to come back the other side. And do one there. Try and get a bit, that's it. Try and get my needle a bit closer. I always have to let go of my thread. It's because I've got osteoarthritis in my fingers. I struggle to hang on to it sometimes. So I'm going to put another one in here. Be a little bit smaller, just to come out. And that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can't hold the needle and pull the thread at the same time these days. We'll have to adapt, don't we? There we go. Do we think we need another one in on this side? I think so. On there. Yeah, we all have to adjust and do what we can to get by. I read a comment over on the Instagram page, I think it was, or it might have been the Facebook, that a lady was saying, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, I only know your sort of Instagram nickname, if you like. She was saying it's therapy for her, and I couldn't agree more, to be honest. Right, there's my pumpkin, and we'll do a little leaf. Really couldn't agree more. And I replied saying that I can be in one frame of mind when I start stitching, and then be in a completely different frame of mind once I've finished what I'm doing, because it's just so relaxing. Put a leaf on and some little bibbidi bobbidi boos. There we are. We're going to be singing that, aren't we? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I don't know the words properly. Right, I'll just do like a suggestion of a leaf here. Don't try and make leaves too perfect. I am very guilty of it, to be honest. Sometimes my looks like an orange. Sometimes my stitching, I kind of go a bit over the top. Right, let's do a bit of a twisting spiral. Yeah, it gets a bit complicated, especially on my animals. I use those as my, well, I use those as my kind of therapy. There we go. Because I like to just find new stitches and try out new techniques or whatever. if you've watched the Seascape, I think it's a January stitch along from last year. I do lots of different stitches and I just love that. Absolutely love it. And that's I carry that through to most of my work on the animals I do. Let's do a little loop round. If you are thinking of coming on one of the workshops, or I do have some spaces left on this on Estella, who's the fox. That's I think that's the 25th of July. Then I've got an August workshop for Celeste the Dragon. I think that's the 16th of August. And there are a few spaces left on both. Be lovely to see people. I know if you're not in this country or you're not nearby, because I'm in North Nottinghamshire. Yeah, it might be a bit difficult, but like I say, there are a couple of spaces left on both of those. There's also Moonlight the Hare, my original. There's a couple of spaces left on that. I come back down here, look, and do another little loopy bit. Another little bibbidi bobbidi boo. Yeah. So, and don't worry if you are a beginner. My workshops are very, very beginner friendly. Simply because I treat them like they're a sampler. And actually, no one sees if you get it wrong. And who minds? Nobody. When mine are on display at the shows, I don't see anybody looking for faults or bits where I've got it wrong. That's 100% for sure. If you want to know what I'm talking about, Marion from Marion's World did an interview with me. And she did a video of my stand at the NEC that we did in March. It was lovely to meet Marion. Absolutely lovely. She's lovely. And her sister's gorgeous as well. I was a little bit starstruck. Right. Feel like that might be okay at that. Oh my gosh, how cute's that? Right. I'll just finish that off. Yeah, so I have no clue what episode it is or anything like that, but I think she's named it the NEC or Birmingham or something like that, or Stitching Show. But I'm on that. A little cameo. Oh dear. So I'm going to just spray my blue hen off. Bit there as well. Is there any more? Any more for any more? Let's move you out of the way. Get rid of some of my rubbish. How sweet is that? Absolutely love it. That little pumpkin. Oh, so cute. Very cute. So that's my little veggie patch. Looks nothing like the one in my garden, I have to say. I always threaten I'm going to do a video, but yeah, I never do because it's well, I don't know whether to mess with the algorithms. I noticed that Marion started doing a new garden channel, and I was going to have a chat with her and see how she's finding that. But anyway, that's a different story altogether. So if you've enjoyed, as always, don't forget to subscribe. It really, really helps our little channel to grow. And, you know, the comments on the last video, the mushrooms, the toadstools, magic mushrooms, were wonderful. So keep them coming. I love it. it really makes me happy when I wake up in the morning and I come downstairs, I get my tea, and at the moment I'm going and sitting outside, but then I come back in and I have a little look to see how many subscribers we've got. I'm not far off. I think I'm four subscribers off 2,000 subscribers, and that is so wonderful. I can't believe it. So yes, please subscribe if you haven't already. It is completely free. So well, I don't know what else to say. Enjoy your stitching, and enjoy the sunshine if you're here in the UK. And I'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye bye.